Chosen one, there's something timeless and powerful working in your favor. So, if you're still tuned in and catching this, it means you've been chosen. Looks like you've been picked. What's about to happen in your life isn't just a coincidence. It's like a beautiful meeting point between your loyalty and the promises from above. This isn't just another season filled with blessings heading your way. This is a complete spiritual transformation. This is the moment when everything that was meant for you starts to push past the obstacles that have been holding it back. The change isn't happening. The shift is happening. And I want you to get something clear right from the beginning. You're at a really special crossroads. Not today, not anytime soon. At this moment, heaven is posing a question to you. It's not about whether you're looking for a breakthrough. So, the real question is, are you ready to say yes with all you've got? I want your complete yes, not just a maybe or a conditional response. If everything goes as planned, you're all in, completely committed, and totally devoted. Absolutely. What's coming up in your life really needs some alignment. Surrender is what it takes. It takes a lot of courage to follow through, even when the way forward seems tough. I get it. Some of you are feeling pretty worn out. I get it. You've been waiting for what feels like forever. And the word breakthrough probably weighs a lot right now. You've probably heard this one before. You've had hope before. You've had your hopes up before. And then it felt like nothing really shifted, right? Just hang on for a moment, because what I'm about to share with you is going to change everything. Check out Romans 12, verse 2. Don't just go along with what everyone else is doing. Instead, let your mind be refreshed and changed. You'll get to test and see what God's will is. It's good, pleasing, and just right. Did you see that? Transformation begins before anything in your life changes. Your journey begins with a fresh perspective in your mind. It all begins with seeing things in a new light, thinking in a fresh way, and believing in something different. So, that's what's going on right now, at this very moment. Your mind is getting a fresh start from heaven. Heaven is changing the stories that have held you back, kept you feeling stuck, and made you settle for less. You've got this all figured out. Think about all those moments you've faced, the disappointments that really stung, the delays that had you second-guessing everything, and those nights when you found yourself crying, wondering if God had even noticed you. Every bit of it counted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment when you felt like giving up. Everything was about getting ready. It wasn't about punishment. You were in the process of being built. It's easy to think that your past holds you back, that your failures are what you're all about, or that your tough times mean you're alone. But that's not the truth. But you know, that's just the oldest trick in the book. It seems like the enemy has some insight into you that you're just starting to recall. He gets that you're a bit of a threat. He understands that when you fully embrace who you are and walk confidently in the authority that's already yours, everything changes, not just for you, but for everyone around you too. So, he's played on fear, he's offered comfort, and he's dragged things out. Here are his three main weapons to take on the chosen ones. Fear has a way of suggesting that stepping out might be too risky. Comfort tells us that sticking with what we know feels safer than letting go. Delay suggests that if something hasn't happened yet, it probably won't happen at all. You've been tuning into those whispers for way too long, instead of paying attention to the voice of the one who called you even before you were born. But lately, something feels off in the spirit. Do you feel it? It seems like there's a change happening in your life lately. Out of nowhere, what once seemed impossible now feels totally doable again. Out of nowhere, hope is starting to bloom, where there used to be just a weighty feeling. All of a sudden, you're noticing doors you never noticed before. Have you ever thought about those opportunities you might have missed? Connections that feel like they were meant to be. You're not imagining things. That's a confirmation for you. That's amazing to see. Isaiah 43 verse 19. Can you not see it? I'm carving a path through the wild and creating streams in the barren land. Could you go over that one more time? God isn't going to do anything new. He's getting it done. It's happening right now, actively unfolding. It's not about whether God is on the move. So, the real question is, do you see it? Are you open to noticing it? And are you ready to team up with it? So, let's talk about what you really need to get when it comes to divine timing. It doesn't work like human timing does. You've been keeping track of your progress based on dates, deadlines, and what others expect from you. Heaven really takes its time, doesn't it? It's all about those moments when we're ready, those seasons when we're getting things in order and just waiting for the right time to come around. Looks like your schedule is packed. It's your time of year. We're wrapping up the preparation phase, so it looks like the manifestation phase is starting up. I'm sure you've come across something like this before. I get that you've been feeling let down, but this time feels different, and you can just sense it deep down inside. Deep down, despite all the doubt, fear, and exhaustion, you can feel that something has changed. It's something you notice right when you get up in the morning. You can feel it when you pray. There's this excitement brewing that you just can't put into words. That's not just a hopeful thought. That's some insightful understanding. Your spirit is picking up on what heaven is already sending out. I know some of you might be thinking this sounds a bit too good to be true. I get it. You're feeling like, I really want to believe this, but I've been through so much pain before. Got it. I totally get what you're going through. I've spent time in the waiting room of hopes that seemed like they'd never come true. I've wondered if I really heard God right. I've been thinking about whether I'm just kidding myself. So, let me share what I picked up while I was there. God makes sure your waiting isn't in vain. He uses it to bring out something in you that you just can't develop any other way. He uses it to boost your faith, to clean up your motives, and to help you rely on Him even more. So, all that waiting and learning, it's finally time to put it all into action with this breakthrough. Every prayer you've sent out is on the verge of being answered in ways that go beyond what you hoped for. Every tear you've shed is on the verge of being turned into something beautiful. All those sacrifices you've made are about to pay off big time. Just make sure you're prepared. You've got to be ready to take action when the universe gives you a nudge. You've got to be ready to let go of the past so you can really embrace the present. This is the point where a lot of folks trip up. So close to a breakthrough, just when things are on the verge of changing, remember that making a breakthrough means taking action. You've got to jump out of the boat, even when the waters are a bit wild. Don't forget about Peter. Jesus invited, "Come on over." So, Peter found himself at a crossroads. Stay in the boat where it feels safe and comfortable, where everything is predictable, or take a leap and step out onto waters that seem impossible, going against all logic and trusting only in the one who called him. So, Peter stepped out. For a brief moment, he actually walked on water. For a brief moment, he pulled off the impossible. It wasn't that he was special or perfect. It was simply that he accepted the invitation. He got up when Jesus said, "Move." So, guess what happened? As soon as he began to sink, Jesus was right there without hesitation. He made sure Peter didn't drown. He got him. He helped him out. And then he asked a question that just keeps coming back, you know. What made you question it? What made you hesitate when I asked you to come? What made you second-guess yourself when you were already achieving the impossible? What made you look away from me and focus on the storm instead? So, what do you think heaven is asking you at this very moment? Why are you second-guessing me when I've already shown you my loyalty? What's holding you back? I've already paved the way for you. Why are you paying so much attention to the chaos around you instead of the one who helped you get out of it? It's totally normal to have doubts. It's totally normal to feel that way when faced with something supernatural, but don't let it hold you back. So, Peter had his doubts, but he still managed to walk on water. It's totally okay to have doubts and still keep moving ahead. It's totally okay to feel scared and still follow the rules. It's totally okay to feel inadequate sometimes but you can still step up and answer the call. Remember, it's not just about your strength. It's not really about how strong you are. It's all about His faithfulness, His power, and His promise. And you know what? His promise to you is way bigger than any fear you might be holding on to. His promise to you is greater than any challenge you might face. His promise to you is more powerful than anything that could come your way. No weapon made to harm you will succeed. Maybe things won't go well. Things won't go well just because you try to do everything perfectly. It won't succeed. That's it. That's not how conditions work. That's not really about how you performed. That's all about the agreement He made with you. You've been picked. It's not like you actually earned it. It's not about being perfect. It's about the fact that even before everything began, you were chosen. You were different from the rest. You were called. And that calling can't be taken back. Your mistakes won't change it. It doesn't just vanish because you tripped up. It doesn't take away from anything just because it took you a bit longer to arrive. You're here right now, and that's what really counts. Your past might have had its say, but it doesn't get to decide your future. Your story isn't finished yet. The chapters you believed were endings were really just new beginnings. The losses you believed were the end were really just opportunities to clear the way for what's coming next. The closed doors you saw as rejections were really just redirections, keeping you safe from what wasn't meant for you and setting you up for what is. What's meant for you is already on its way, making its way through, and starting to show up. You're going to notice some things in the next season that will really touch your heart and fill you with gratitude. Hey, you know those things you've been wishing for all these years? Well, it looks like they're finally on their way to you. It looks like relationships that felt like they were over might just get a second chance, or maybe something even better is on the horizon. It looks like those financial breakthroughs that felt out of reach are finally going to happen. Those locked doors are about to swing wide open, and it's going to happen really quickly. When God decides to act, it happens in an instant. 1 minute you're just waiting around, and the next, you're reaping the rewards. 1 minute you're out in the wild, and the next, you're in paradise. 1 minute you're tied down, and the next, you're totally free. And you probably won't be able to explain it in simple terms. It looks like you might not be able to recognize your own hard work. There's no doubt that heaven stepped in for you. So, let me explain what I really need you to get. This breakthrough brings along some responsibility. With great blessings, there comes a responsibility to take care of them. You're not being lifted up just for the sake of living comfortably. You're being lifted up to help you achieve your purpose. You're not meant to just keep all those blessings to yourself. You're receiving blessings so you can share them with others. You're not here just to forget your roots. You're being brought to a place where you can return and assist others in finding their freedom. The chosen ones aren't just picked for their own benefit. They've been picked to be carriers, bringing light to the shadows, bringing hope when things seem tough, bringing hope to those who are still waiting. What you're stepping into isn't just for you. It's for all the people in your circle, your family, your community, and the people you connect with. When you get up, they get up too. When you make a breakthrough, you're paving the way for others to follow in your footsteps. It seems like the enemy has really put up a fight against you, probably because they realize that your breakthrough means more than just your own success. It's all about the ripple effect. It's all about the momentum. We're talking about multiplication. When one person walks in freedom, it opens the door for others to believe they can do the same. When one person embraces their calling, it inspires others to discover theirs too. When someone puts their trust in God for the impossible, it can really inspire others to believe that what seems impossible might actually be possible. That's the reason you've experienced everything you have. That's why the fighting has been really intense. That's why it seemed like everything was just piling up against you. Well, that's just how it was. It's not that God left you. It's that the enemy was scared of what would unfold once you truly embraced who you are. So, when you finally embraced your authority and said yes to all those invitations from heaven, you're saying yes to it all right now. Even if you're not feeling ready or worthy or equipped, just by being here, you're saying yes. By continuing to listen, you're saying yes. By not giving up, you're saying yes. Even when it seemed like giving up was the only way to go. That yes is going to change everything, because God doesn't need you to be perfect. He's looking for when you're free. He doesn't really need your resume. He's looking for your surrender. He doesn't expect you to have everything sorted out. He wants you to believe that He already trusts you. When you let go and embrace His plan instead of sticking to your own, things really start to pick up speed. It's that instant when you stop trying to control everything and start embracing trust. A breakthrough is bound to happen. When you wake up tomorrow, you'll be starting a day that feels special, like it's been highlighted in your journey. This isn't really about a particular date on the calendar that I could share with you. This is a special moment in your journey where what you've been promised in the spiritual realm starts to show up in your everyday life. It's that moment when everything comes together, where being ready meets the chance to shine. When you follow the rules, good things come your way. When you wake up, it's important to be spiritually aware. Take your time as you start your day. Hold off on grabbing your phone and scrolling right away. Make room for what's sacred. Take a moment to just sit quietly. Just pay attention to the whisper. Keep an eye out for the sign. Today's a great morning to just be here, to really notice everything, and to stay open to whatever way God might want to communicate and act. He could share a vision with you, giving you a clear idea of what's ahead. He could share a word that resonates with you, giving you a clear instruction or guidance. He could really make you feel His presence in such a powerful way that it might even bring you to tears. He could share a scripture that really grounds you for this new season. Whatever way He decides to share this change, just go with it. Trust me on this. Don't just brush it off. Just don't try to make excuses for it. Take it in as the special gift it truly is. Just wait and see what unfolds in the days ahead. Check out how chats can go in different directions. Keep an eye out for how opportunities come your way. Check out how provision appears just when you need it most. Check out how wisdom can guide you in the decisions you need to make. Check out how your words hold more significance now than they did before. Check out how doors swing open that you never even realized were there. This is the life you were meant to live. It's not about just getting by or facing challenges. It's about living in a state of effortless harmony. It's not about just getting by. It's about living a life full of abundance. It's not about living a life of powerless religion. It's all about embracing a life filled with spiritual authority. You're really diving into what it truly means to be a son or daughter of the Most High God, walking on this earth with a sense of divine support, bringing His presence along, showing His strength, and spreading His kingdom in your daily life. I get it. Some of you might be thinking this sounds a bit too good to be true. I know you've faced disappointment in the past. You've hoped for a breakthrough in the past, and it seemed like nothing really shifted. You've probably come across some prophetic words that felt really impactful at the time, but didn't quite show up in your life as expected. It sounds like there's a part of you that's a bit cautious about letting yourself hope again, probably because you're worried about getting hurt like before. Got it. I really appreciate that. I've got something to share with you. This feels different. It's not about the promise itself. God's promises have always held true. It's all about you. You've changed since the last time you were hoping for a breakthrough. You've really been through a lot, and it's shaped you into who you are today. You've gone through tests that really showed what you're made of. You've been through a weight that really helped you grow. You're a different person now than you were when you prayed those prayers before. You've gone through a change, and now you're ready for what's ahead. The timing couldn't be better. All set and ready to go. The door's opening up. On the other side of that door, there's a life that truly shows what God intended for you. Imagine waking up each day feeling purposeful, moving through your day with strength, and ending it all with a sense of peace. A life where the miraculous isn't just a story you hear from others, but something you actually experience in your own day-to-day life. Imagine a life where you're not just asking God for a breakthrough, but actually teaming up with Him to move the kingdom forward. This is your moment. Tomorrow morning is all yours. The wait is getting tough. The season is changing. The barriers are coming down. Chosen one, you're on the brink of blossoming in ways that will truly amaze you. Just think about what God can accomplish with a life that's completely surrendered to His plans. Stand tall, my friend. Lift your head up. Pull your shoulders back. You're not a victim anymore, you know? You're not out of the game. Just wanted to remind you that you're not forgotten. You're definitely not overlooked. You're recognized, understood, selected, and given a purpose. You're on the verge of becoming a living example of God's faithfulness, a walking miracle, and a breathing testament that our God continues to act powerfully for those who put their trust in Him. Looks like the evidence is on its way. The proof is showing up. We've got some exciting news. So, tomorrow morning, when heaven meets your timeline, get ready for everything to change. Things are always changing. Everything speeds up. This is your time to shine. This is your moment. So, here we are, your special moment with destiny. I want to share something with you that might just change the way you look at every closed door you've encountered. Every rejection that hurt, every chance that slipped away just when you thought it was in the bag, every relationship that took a turn you didn't see coming, every plan that crumbled even when you tried your hardest. You really thought those were losses. They were like shields. God wasn't keeping anything from you. He was looking out for you, because if you had gotten what you wanted right away, you might have ended up with something way less than what He had in store for you. It seems like you might have ended up with the wrong person, the wrong job, the wrong city, or the wrong assignment. Once you find yourself stuck in something that just isn't right for you, getting out can be a lot harder and way more painful. He closed doors not to punish you, but to help guide you, not to deny you, but to set you up for something better. Every no you got was like a little nudge from the universe, saying not this, not them, not now. It's all because there's something better out there for you, something that truly fits who you're becoming and what you're meant to carry. Tomorrow morning, you'll begin to see the sense in the changes that are happening. Sometimes, the things that really hurt us when they fell apart turn out to be blessings in disguise. They can show us how they actually saved us from going down paths that might have led to trouble. You'll find yourself looking back with appreciation rather than resentment. You're about to notice the protective hand of God in spots where you used to just see disappointment. This change in how we see things is all part of the transformation. You're not just switching things up, you're shifting the way you see your story. Your life story is getting a fresh rewrite. And guess who's holding the pen? That's right, it's you. What seemed like failures are actually going to turn out to be moments of preparation. What seemed like wasted years are actually going to be seen as invested years. Everything stayed intact. Everything had a reason behind it. I want to share something with you about the flame you're about to become. Fire just goes ahead and burns without asking for permission. It definitely owns its heat. It doesn't tone itself down to make others feel at ease. Fire changes everything it comes into contact with. It shines bright when things get dark. It adds a cozy touch when it's chilly. It cleanses what's not clean. It takes in what has to be gotten rid of. You've been working hard to be like a candle, all controlled and contained, playing it safe. But God is lighting you up like a torch. Torches are meant to be on the move, not just sitting around. They're supposed to be carried around. They're supposed to be on the move. They're here to light the way for those who are navigating through the dark. You're on the verge of becoming a real threat to the kingdom of darkness like never before. And that's because you're stepping away from just being safely religious. You're really going to be on fire. This fire won't take you down. It's going to take away everything in you that doesn't align with God. Fear just fades away. All that doubt just fades away. Insecurity just fades away. Trying to please everyone just wears you out. The need for approval fades away. What's left is just gold, true purpose, genuine passion, and real power. As you step into rooms after this ignition, you can feel the vibe change even before you say a word. That's how you can really feel God's presence in your life, showing up in a real way. People are definitely going to notice something different about you. They might not always be able to put it into words, but they'll definitely feel it. Some people will find themselves attracted to it. Some people might be put off by it. Both responses show that we're looking at the same situation. You've got something heavy on your shoulders, something genuine, something that feels like it comes from a different world. It's no shocker if you notice more pushback coming your way. As your blessings grow, you carry more light, which means you also reveal more darkness. With greater authority comes a greater threat from the enemy. The more impact you have on the kingdom, the more spiritual battles you'll face. This doesn't mean you're messing up. It's a sign that you're on the right track. So, let me share something the enemy definitely doesn't want you to find out. He doesn't have any new strategies. He's been sticking to the same strategies since the garden. It's all about distortion, distraction, division, discouragement, and doubt, isn't it? If you can spot his patterns, you'll be able to fend off his attacks. So, when you stand your ground against him, the scripture says he has to run away. It has to happen. Not just possibly or maybe. It's a must. Tomorrow morning is more than just getting a breakthrough. It's all about taking charge. You're getting keys to the kingdom that open up things in the spirit realm. Your prayers are about to mean a lot more. Your statements are about to change the vibe. Your prayers are on the verge of breaking free from those chains. Your worship is getting ready to open the heavens. Being a living conduit is all about connection and flow. You're not only getting things from above, you're bringing a bit of heaven down to earth. Have you ever thought about a conduit? It doesn't produce any power. It sends out power. It doesn't generate the electricity. It takes the electricity from where it comes from to where it needs to go. That's what you'll be doing in this new season. You're not the one who provides that information. God is the source, and you're the channel that lets his power, presence, provision, and purposes reach others. You've got to keep in touch with the source. If you're not connected to what you're supposed to be sharing, you can't really do your job as a conduit. Your relationship with God has evolved beyond just being a nice spiritual practice. It's all about tapping into that power versus just relying on your own strength. It's all about finding that balance, right? Juggling the supernatural while keeping it real in the natural world, trying to be effective without running yourself into the ground. Having daily intimacy with him is a must now, not because he's asking for it or anything, but because you're stepping up to a level that needs regular replenishing. If you haven't received something, you can't share it with others. If you don't have something, you can't share it. If you haven't experienced something, you can't really show it, can you? The more you let go, the more you have to take in. The waiting season was super important for this reason. It showed you how to keep that close connection with God. When there wasn't an instant reward, when you couldn't see any results, and it felt like nothing was changing, you start to look for him just for who he is, not just for what he can provide. That's the base for everything else that's going to come together. When blessings come your way, when opportunities arise, and when you start to see more favor in your life, it's easy to get caught up in all the busyness and forget about the important relationships that helped you get there. Now that you've done what God asked of you, let go of what was clouding your clarity and aligned yourself with his will. The fog is about to clear up. You're about to get a download that's super clear, really specific, and totally undeniable. You'll be left wondering how you ever managed to live in confusion before this. You might find this insight in a dream, or maybe it hits you out of nowhere while you're meditating or praying. It could come from a prophetic word from someone who doesn't even know you, but says exactly what you've been feeling. Sometimes, it's just a bunch of situations lining up perfectly, or even a personal moment where you feel like God is speaking directly to your heart. So, when this revelation hits, a bunch of things are going to happen all at once. First off, everything in your life will just click into place. Everything you've been through, all the lessons you've picked up, the skills you've honed, the people you've crossed paths with, and the places you've explored, it's all going to come together like a puzzle, creating a beautiful picture. You'll see that nothing went to waste, that every experience was getting you ready for this particular task, and that God was crafting your resume, even when it felt like you were just getting by. You'll notice a strong feeling of rightness and peace, even when the task feels tough or demands some sacrifice. Operating in your purpose really brings a deep sense of satisfaction that you just can't find anywhere else. It's totally normal to feel scared. You might feel like you're not enough. You might be curious about how you'll manage to get it done. But deep down, you'll feel it, a sense of knowing, a certainty, and a recognition that this is what you were meant to do. You'll start to see the resources, connections, and opportunities you need to get this assignment done popping up. God doesn't just send you on a journey and leave you to navigate it by yourself. So, when He shares your assignment, He also gives you the resources you need to get it done. You'll come across folks who have just what you're looking for. Doors are going to open up to platforms, education, funding, or visibility that once felt out of reach. You might discover some skills you didn't even realize you had. You'll find that good things come your way in ways that just don't seem to make sense. But let me tell you, this is the really important part about this miracle. You really should say yes. You've got to be ready to dive into the task, even if it feels a bit awkward. Sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and try things you've never done before, even if it means letting go of what feels familiar and safe. This is your moment. This is what it's all been leading up to. The enemy is aware of it. That's why you'll see immediate conflict as soon as you get this news. Sometimes, doubt can creep into your thoughts. Fear might just try to hold you back. Some folks nearby might wonder about, or even critique the path you're taking. Things might seem really tough right now. You're not misinterpreting this at all. You heard it right. The enemy really steps up their game when you're on the verge of doing something that will push God's kingdom forward and help others find freedom. All the things you've been looking forward to. All the things you've been hoping for. Everything you never expected is about to show up all at once. Not in a slow way, not little by little, and definitely not just one blessing at a time. Everything at once. It's like a dam that's been holding back water for ages, and then it just bursts open, unleashing a flood that can't be contained. This is what goes down when you finally take that step God's been nudging you towards. The universe doesn't just hand out a single miracle. It brings out all the things that were kept inside, everything that was saved up, just waiting for the right time when you were ready to take it on. Well, that moment is here. You've stepped over the line. Congrats. You made it through the final test. You really showed that you care about God's will more than just your own comfort. And now, it feels like heaven is giving a big, clear yes, so loud and undeniable that everyone around you will totally sense something extraordinary has taken place. When these miracles begin to show up, they really start to build some momentum. They create portals. They create fresh routines in your life, where blessings turn into your everyday reality, where being in favor is just how things are, where miracles go from being something unusual to becoming a part of everyday life. You've got to act when the universe gives you a nudge. You've got to take action when opportunities arise. Please make sure to respond when asked. Just follow where you're being led. These miracles are on their way, but they need you to get involved. You've got to be bold and brave, stepping into new spaces and having those tough conversations you've been putting off. It's all about claiming what's yours and not feeling sorry for your ambition. It's time to move on from being passive. We're diving into a season of bold faith. Your big breakthrough is happening right now, just like you've been hoping for. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right here and now. As you read this, The doors you've been knocking on are swinging open so wide that you won't even have to push them anymore. The right people are already on their way to you, guided by unseen forces that you can totally trust. The help you're looking for is coming from places you might not have thought about, pouring in like a river that's been turned to bring you a wealth of good things. You know that clarity you've been looking for. It's coming to you right now, bit by bit, revelation by revelation. Before you know it, all those confusing things will just click into place and make perfect sense. This isn't hope, pretending to be certainty. This is a real understanding that comes from the very core of spiritual truth. This isn't just some hopeful thinking trying to make itself real. This is a powerful declaration made over your life by someone who has insight into what's happening in heaven. Even if you can't see it with your own eyes just yet, you did what heaven has been waiting for. You really put in the effort. You let go of the grip. You gave a definite yes and an even stronger no. You picked truth instead of comfort and went for destiny rather than security. So, since you did that, heaven really has to respond now. The spiritual laws require it.